to Follow the Five with Catherine. Then it's Sarah Cox, of course, at 5:04, 5:05, something like that. We return tomorrow with Kevin Bridges and Simon Mayo. Who's that?
BBC News at 5 o'clock. This is Catherine Cracknell. Prices are continuing to rise at their fastest rate for more than 40 years. Police investigating the fatal stabbing of a grandfather on a mobility scooter have released pictures of a man fleeing the scene. And the uproar in Manchester over a Joy Division mural being covered over to promote someone else's album. Inflation's reached its highest rate since 1982, driven by steeper than expected rises in the prices of food and drink. Inflation hit 10.1% in the 12 months to July. The government says it's working on options for the new Prime Minister to tackle soaring energy prices. Unions have warned that the increasing cost of living has become a nightmare for workers. Not every small business can pass on rising costs to customers. Sean runs a breakdown recovery service, which is tied into fixed price contracts.
Obviously the fuel, 25 to 30%, that's costing us extra for the same income. Insurance, that's been up. Lorries, price of lorries, second-hand and new, 30%, maybe up to 50% some of them. And as I say, we're on the contracts, we cannot change the prices at all.
The two Conservative leadership contenders have faced questions from party members in Northern Ireland at their latest hustings. Both Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak have said they're opposed to the post-Brexit trading arrangements under the Northern Ireland Protocol. The Foreign Secretary said the protocol was undermining the Good Friday Agreement.
See, what I will do is I will unlock the opportunities of Brexit. I will make sure that we have free ports here in Northern Ireland. I will make sure that we have more trade deals, and I will make sure all of the EU laws are off our statute books by the end of 2023.
For his part, Rishi Sunak also pledged to fix the protocol. He also promised not to pursue policies which he said risked making inflation even worse.
Inflation is the enemy. It makes everyone poorer, eats into people's savings, their pensions, it pushes up mortgage rates. That's why this autumn and winter, as Prime Minister, I will make sure that we support especially the most vulnerable in our society with the means to help get through what will be a difficult time, because that's the compassionate Conservative thing to do.
Police investigating a fatal attack on an 87-year-old man on a mobility scooter in West London have released pictures of a man fleeing the scene with a knife. Thomas O'Halloran was killed in Greenford yesterday afternoon. The Metropolitan Police say they're working to identify the man in the photographs as a matter of urgency. Campaign groups have welcomed the decision to award an interim compensation payment of £100,000 to people given infected blood. The money will go to those who've developed life-changing conditions and to the partners of people who've died. The compensation doesn't cover those who lost parents and children from the blood treatment they received in the 1970s and 80s. Tony Farrugia is one of those.
What a lot of people don't realise is that this only encompasses a very small group of the amount of haemophiliacs that died. As an example, in my family, my father and two uncles have all died, and my father's widow and my uncle's widow will today be included in this interim compensation settlement. But unfortunately, the other widow of my uncle has died, so that family are excluded.
Royal Mail workers have voted in favour of strike action in a dispute over pay and conditions. Royal Mail members of the Communication Workers Union are already planning 4 strikes over the coming weeks as part of a separate row over pay. The rapper H has promised to fix pronto the painting of an advert for his new album that's appeared over the top of a Joy Division mural in Manchester. It featured the band's late singer Ian Curtis, as our reporter Laura Trant explains.
The Joy Division singer Ian Curtis is much loved in Manchester. He took his own life in 1980 before the band were due to embark on their first US tour. The mural in the city's northern quarter was painted in 2020 to help promote mental health. On Twitter, the rapper H said he'd been made aware the artwork had been painted over to promote his album. He said he and his team were getting this fixed and no way on earth would he want to disrespect a local hero.
In the city, the 100 share index closed down 20 points at 7,516. And the weather, any rain tonight will gradually clear in the far south of England and Wales, and it'll become dry with clear periods. Cloudy skies and rain are expected in Scotland and Northern Ireland. Overnight lows of 13 in Edinburgh, 15 in Belfast and Cardiff, and 17 in London. And that's the BBC News at 5:05.
Catherine, hang on.
Ladies and gentlemen,
introducing to you Sarah Cox.
And thank you very much, Mr. Steve Wright, for a spectacular show. I think he'll be swimming home now through the streets of London, doing a butterfly. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, welcome along to your, well, I did ask for rain, wild and wet Wednesday tea time extravaganza. Using precipitation, let's ramp up anticipation for today's show. Because as you know, there's no but top tunes between now and 7, plus features to give your brain ache. And of course, your messages, whether you're packing the kids off for a sleet over at Granny's, trying to hail a cab or making a lemon drizzle cake.